Hey guys, Dave Ray here, DB Restoration. How we doing today? Hey, I'm working on a leaf spring set here. I'm changing the front eye bushing here. I'll show you that right there. I'm going to take the spring pack apart too and totally clean it and everything. Normally I would press the old ones out, take them apart, paint everything, put the new ones in. But I'm just going to show you, since I'm pulling this one out, I'm going to show you how to put one back in all at the same time, and I'll just tape it off whenever I paint it. It's not a big deal. But here we go. I'm going to flip the camera around here. Okay, so I got our leaf spring here. It's pretty rusty off our 68 Charger RT. So this is the joker we're going to change right here, this front eye bushing. I have a 20-ton press here that I use. I bought the bushing. I'll get you the part number here off of Classic Industries, or OER. MP500401. There's two different size leaf spring eye bushings for the Mopar, so make sure you measure yours and get the right one. But this one takes a smaller one. There's a bigger one as well that goes in some of these cars too. So what I'm going to do is, all the tools that you're going to need is, of course, the bushing, a razor blade. I use 1 1/16 inch. If I can kind of get that to go in there. Socket. And what I'm going to do is start off, I'm going to take my razor blade and I'm going to cut all this rubber around the edge of that, so that whenever that socket sits on there, it's going to sit flush with the bushing. I'll show you. Here's the other one I took out. So after you cut all that off, you can see you have the center section sticking up just a little bit. But there we go. Let's try to focus on that. Gosh, forgive me, this camera's just not working with me today. But that's what it's going to look like. So that way there, whenever you put your socket on there, it'll go right around that outer edge here, because that's what you got to press out. If you start to press on the center, odds are they're vulcanized in there with the rubber, but odds are you're going to push that center piece out and leave this outer one. So the 1 1/16 socket grabs the edge of that sucker and pushes it right out of there. So I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to cut this rubber off of there real quick, and then we'll get started. Hold on just a sec. Okay, you can see I got the rubber cut off of there. So now I'm going to position this thing inside of my press here, and then I'm going to use my plate so that either I got enough room for that bushing to press through and fall out of there. So make sure you get your spacing just right. I use a stand. I got a stand right here to hold my leaf spring, and I try to block it or whatever I can do to make sure everything's sitting as level as possible, because these things are heavy, and trying to hold them and pump the jack at the same time is very difficult. So I'm going to get this set up in here, get it lined up on my hole, and get ready to press it out. Okay, there we go. So I'm in position here. And I forgot to tell you too, I treated this with some PB Blaster. This stuff's great. This penetrating oil right here, PB Blaster. I shot it around that bushing and let it soak for a few hours before I got in here. So now I'm going to pump this on down. Now, and make sure this thing's all lined up, of course. Whenever you get this thing down on there, it's going to want to cock down just a little bit. And so, which is fine. Just want to make sure that your bushing starts coming out of there without, you want to go real easy with this thing, because you don't want that thing to jump out on you. So you can see that broke loose. Still pretty straight in there. So she's coming out of there. So you just keep pumping that thing down in there. And if you want, if it doesn't feel too free on your handle, you can still shoot some more stuff around the edge of that while it's going down in there. But I'm just going to keep coming down with the jack till that joker falls out the bottom. Almost done. There she goes. Bushing down. Bushing down. Okay, now you're thinking, oh, great job, you idiot. Now you got your socket stuck in there. Yeah, the socket is definitely stuck in there. But whenever I push the new bushing in, I'm going to push my socket out at the same time. So I'm going to flip the leaf spring over here and get ready to put my new one in. So give me just a sec. Okay, you guys, well, I got my spring flipped over. You can see, yes, my socket is stuck inside the spring. I shot some WD-40 around in that. I got my new bushing here, and anti-seize is your friend in this case. I only painted like half of it down, is because when I press it in, it's going to smear that down and lubricate the whole thing, and plus it keeps you from getting it all over your hands and everything else. So we're going to grab that joker, come over here. And the cool thing about this is this thing's already kind of expanded this hole because the socket's in there. So now I could just put a plate on top of my bushing here and just press that thing right in, because it's going to go in like butter because that socket's in there, and it's just going to gradually push that socket right on out of there. So let me get, I'm pretty lined up. Let's take a look here and see where we're at. Tighten up my jack here. See where we're at here. Might have to adjust. Yeah, I need to adjust a little bit. You see, I'm a little bit off. Give me just a sec here. Okay. Well, it's not perfect, but let's see. Let's see how we do here. I think we're going to be okay. So this is going in pretty easy. And we'll just press this thing all the way down until we get the edge of that outer sleeve to the edge of the spring, the spring. You don't want to go in too far, then you got to flip it over and do it the other way. But there goes the socket. And some other stuff. Yeah, well, everything's falling right now. So, that's all right. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to look down here until I get that sleeve a little bit more. Right there. That's where we want it. See how the rubber's still sticking up and the sleeve is right to the edge there? And that's where we want her. Let me bring the jack up. We'll take a look at it. All right, there you have it. See how we look here? Nice, right on the edge. Right on the edge. Beautiful. New eye bushing in there. Everything looks good. Rubber's not damaged. You just got to be careful when you're doing that where your spread is. You want to make sure that you got plenty of room. Get on the eye there, or else you'll end up cutting up that rubber a little bit, and you don't want to do that. So there you go, guys. I hope this helped you out. Pretty easy. You just press it in and, you know, use the bushing to press your socket back out. So pretty simple, but make sure you change those bushings. If you're going through all the trouble of pulling those springs off the rear axle and doing everything, put your shackle bushings new in there and change out that front eye bushing. They're not very much money, and this is a pretty simple way to do it. So I hope this helped you guys out. You guys take care. Happy New Year. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.